Good evening. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the Hot Seat. I am your hostess with the mostest, P. Coffee Brown, and just crazy excited to be in the building with you guys on tonight. Today marks my 11th anniversary here in Houston, Texas. That's not the big picture. The big part is 12 years ago, I said, when I was at a particular place here in Houston, I said, by this time next year, I'll be living here in Houston. So check out my reel to get more information about what that journey was on my reel. It's really a dope story, but I'm grateful for our anniversary celebration for myself and my family. We've been in these Texas streets for 11 years now off a spoken word that I spoke 12 years ago. So super excited about that. But enough about me tonight. As you're coming in, go ahead and let your friends, neighbors, and relatives know that we're live in the hot seat and super excited because my great friend, Taylor May Speaks, is in the building with us tonight. What's up, Taylor? Welcome, welcome.
Going on. Thank you for having me. How you doing?
Amazing, super amazing. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I am doing fantastic. We are in the holidays and
Yes,
I am
honey.
excited.
Just a couple more days and we're gonna be out of here for 2022. We're gonna be into 2023. In
Absolutely.
2023. So we're gonna dive right into it. Taylor, first of all, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. We always get great feedback when you and I have just conversations on the show. And I just wanted to kind of get in here and kind of talk about something that we've been seeing this buzz about anyway, for the
Mm.
most part, probably for quite some time now. So I said, let's talk about this. Let's chop it up a little bit, see if we can't shed some light on this very dark topic. So this evening, Taylor, first of all, Taylor is a coach and he specifically focuses on relationships that are suffering and really should not be together. And it needs to be dissolved. And he helps people to walk away from toxic relationships, not assumed toxicity, but real toxicity, not something assumed and somebody on the outside looking in saying, oh, girl, they just, no, these are really toxic relationships that are not healthy for both parties that are involved. And so Taylor works with individuals to help them get out of those relationships in like a month or so, wasn't it, Taylor? Like 30 days or something crazy like that?
Yeah, 30 days. 30 days.
30 days to get you out of bondage instead of 40 years like the children of Israel.
Some people's in there longer too.
I know. And you know what? Speaking of toxicity, I think it's just my opinion, but don't all humans have just a little bit of toxic, little tiny bit maybe?
No, absolutely. And there's also online you could do a test. I feel that yeah, everybody have a little areas that we all need to work on that might be a little toxic, right? And that could stem from our upbringing as a child. Maybe, it developed throughout the course of certain things that you have been exposed to, maybe from your job, or certain different areas.
So what you're saying is us being toxic bae could be some type of normal behavior based on our experiences. Is that
No,
what you're
absolutely.
saying?
100%. I think that, sometimes we can't self-diagnose ourselves, right? And so we might think that some of our behaviors is normal, right? I was talking to a gentleman and he would say that I am an a-hole, right? This is just who I am, right? And one thing that I've always said to this individual is that doesn't make it right. Like, I get that's who you are, but does it make it right to be the person that you are? Sometimes we talk about being our authentic self, but being somebody that is disrespectful or just speak their minds, which is okay. You can share how you feel, but there's a way to do it. You're not going to go to your job and tell your boss, shut up, right? If he's talking too much, right? Because there's different things that we depend on, like a paycheck, right? But it just boggles me that how, when it comes to family, we're able to tell our significant other, anything that comes out of our mouth. And I think that we have a lot to lose when it comes to significant other, assets, children. But for some reason, we forget about those things that restrains us from just going off at the handle.
And I think too, when it comes to relationships, I think we don't realize that we provoke our person.
Oh,
I think sometimes we're so close. We're so close that we don't realize that we're provoking our person, with certain things and certain statements and things like that. And we become so commonplace with them. I told somebody the other day, I said, listen, you don't have anybody. And they're like, what you mean? No, 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 no. Don't ever be deceived into thinking that once you get into a relationship with somebody, you got them. That's not reality. And it's
right.
also dangerous. For you to even be able to say that out of your mouth is dangerous because you're taking them for granted. They could walk out at any moment and say, I found somebody that just seems to care a little bit more than you do, and so on and so forth. So we get way too commonplace with our relationships, not doing the hair anymore, gaining weight, um, not providing sustenance where we were providing sustenance all the time. I had a couple friends during the holiday period, three different relationships where their person filed a love complaint about them not preparing breakfast for them after they've been doing it for some extended period of time. And I said, whatever you do when you initiate a relationship, that's why I tell people you got to be very intentional when you first get into a partnership with a person. Is this something I'm really want to do for the rest of my life? Do I want to keep going looking the way that I'm looking right now? Do I want to keep that up? I want to keep up these aesthetics. Am I planning on going to gym forever? If I met said person, am I really going to go to the gym forever to keep up these aesthetics? Do I really want to look like this? Is this something that I'm going to do because this guy has found me in this space and he's attracted to this right now? This is what he's attracted to. And we don't want to discount the fact that we're going to get older. That's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with how we treat our bodies after we've met someone and we've sold them this individual, and then we don't keep that individual. What we sold them this individual, they bought this specific person, and then we turn around and don't want to keep that up. I met a lady today, Taylor. She was 91 years young, in her right mind, gorgeous, dressed well, still living a totally liberated life. And I said to her, what is your secret? She said, I stay active. I never unplug from activity. I stay active. I'm always out and about every week. She said, I'm going to happy hour every week. I said, at 91, she said, girl, when I get 92, it's going to be the same thing. So she's 91 years young. She's clothed in her right mind, not missing a beat. And she said it's because of activity. So you can imagine if I'm in a relationship with somebody and I'm looking a specific way and they know I'm going to hit the gym every day, how dare I decide I'm not going to the gym no more because I got old boy? That don't make sense to me. It never has. And so, when I coach people like yourself, when I'm in the coaching space and educating people, especially I normally coach guys, but every now and then I'll take on a female client. But when I coach women, because women think I'm too rough on them, so they don't like to get coached by Coffee. So but I tell women all the time, hey, when you start that thing, that ball that you just started with that son of God, you're gonna have to keep that ball rolling because men are very, very visual. Women are visual too, but men are visual on a whole nother level of a playing field. And if you give them the aesthetics, like you see me all cute, dialed up, I look like this every day. I'm not doing this for somebody. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. And that's going to be a main thing as well. It has to be something that you enjoy in order for you to maintain it. Because Taylor, if a woman don't enjoy what she's doing, she's not going to maintain it. If she don't like it, she ain't going to maintain it.
No, absolutely, she's not. And I think that I think we get complacent sometimes, and it's a continuous work. a lot of people don't like the word work. And I'm sorry, you just can't get around it, right? Whether you are working at your job, working with your children, working in a relationship, it's work. Everything that you do, self improvement is work, right? If you want to go to school so you can get a better job, it's work, right? Everything that we do is work. Okay. And so I think once sometimes we obtain certain things, we decide not to work anymore, you know,
Right.
and so once that happens, the foundation starts falling apart. It's just like a business, right? When you start your business, we all have, our little side business. Some people create it into their main business, but that takes work. The same work that you put in to start that business is the same work you have to put in to maintain it. Now, you might duplicate yourself, right? For those that are entrepreneurs, but the thing is, you're training those employees to do the work. Not only that, you can't just sit back and just expect your business to be on autopilot. You have to do audits, right? Some people just sit back and allow people to do, and that's to do the work and not check up on their business, not go into their files. Right now, if you have the money to spend for other people to do the work for you, which is, i.e., when it comes to relationship therapy, right, then that is okay. You have the money to do the audit, right, to make sure, or have an assistant to do the work. But when it comes to our lives, we need to have that work done, right? And so how do we do the audit on ourselves and our relationships? And that's what we forget. You have to do a check-in, right? You have to do evaluation. See, we wait until New Year's Eve to do evaluations on everything that happens in our life. Throughout January all the way until December, our life is a complete mess. It's falling apart. It's out of gas. You don't go and do maintenance on your relationship, but you wait until New Year's Eve and you say, okay, now I'm going to do an oil check. Well, why you didn't do an oil check 3 months into the relationship, 6 months into the relationship? Your engine is failing. It's coming to an end, right? But you wait until the last end. And then here's the thing, Coffee. Sometimes when we realize that it's time to get that oil change, or that check
Mhm.
light engine is on, sometimes it's too late. Some people say it's never too late. Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes you wait too long, you miss out, you lose. It's no different than a sale.
And you know what? That's why I was saying what I said earlier, Taylor. You're right. And that's that's the bigger picture. People, we have to get a grip on this. We've got to get a grip on this in order for us to keep our relationships fluid and healthy. You're so right. When it comes to that, people, it's like you and I. We're in a relationship, we're in a friendship, and we check in. We check in. Nobody requires us to check in, but we check in and we check our pulse and our temperatures. Hey, Taylor, how are you faring over there? Coffee. You okay? Is everything okay with you? Not what you're doing, but I need to know, are you okay? Are you good? What's going on in your life? Is there anything I can do to add value? And so on and so forth. And I think when we do that and just do it randomly, not because our person went and got us something or whatever the case might be, just randomly checking in with our person, acknowledging their presence, acknowledging how much they're appreciated, how much they're respected and admired, acknowledging that you want them in your life. You want them there. It's a big difference between a want and a need. When a need is met, people usually exit. But a want is a totally different animal. It's a totally different animal. So it's so important to know that your person not only wants you, but they need you. They want all of the elements that make you you. However, you have to be realistic about the expectation of you coming to the table and showing up the way you've shown up in times past. I went and hung out with somebody the other day, Taylor, just a friend, and he said, "Every time I see you, you look like you just jumped out of a freaking magazine." I said, "All I got on is some concealer and some eyeliner, okay? And I like my little eyeshadow, sir." I said, "It's not what you think." And so one day he saw me. I had on a baseball cap and some sweats. I had just come from the gym, And he said, "You just as beautiful without that stuff." He was like, he said, "How you do that?" I said, "I take care of my skin." So regardless of whether I am, have aesthetics and got some stuff going on to just enhance the beauty I already have, or just my natural bare face, which is taken care of too. You know, it's important that we take care of us. And again, not just because we're in a partnership with another human, because we care about us, we care about our appearance. I told one of my friends, Taylor, I said, I have to have a guy with a certain level of vanity attached to him. I'm going to need you to act like you want to look good for you, sir. Okay? I'm gonna need you to act like it's important for you to look good for you. And I think that's important. I can't deal with no dude with no big old gut. For what? I don't have a big gut. I gave birth to 3 children. What's your excuse, sir? So don't come to me with no big old gut and talking about something that's holler. No, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not gonna be able to do it. No, because I don't have a big old gut. I don't want nobody with a big old gut. I'm not even gonna front. I don't want someone who who doesn't exercise. I don't care if you're this big or this big. If you don't exercise, I'm not dealing with it. Just certain things that we have to know. And you know what, Taylor? When you say what you're not willing to deal with it cannot be a negotiation because that person has two or three other things when you meet them. If you got a big old gut, I don't care if he is a millionaire. I still, I have literally declined offers from dudes who have quote unquote money, but they don't use the resources and access to get a trainer or stay health conscious or have somebody that can assist you with your eating habits. Because obviously, son of God, you're not eating well. You're not taking good care of yourself. So you think because you got that beautiful vehicle and those cute cars and you have a driver to come pick me up that I'm gonna just forget about what I see? Negative, sir. If you ain't been to the dentist, let me tell you what I did today. I went and got my well woman, Taylor. I went to the dentist today. Okay. That's twice a year for the dental ministries and once a year for the well woman. And I got my paperwork so I can go get my mammogram and also get my colonoscopy done.
Good for you.
It's required. I intend to live
Right.
long and healthy, not frail and dependent on somebody else. You know what I mean? It's got to be that air of understanding that you want this person in your life and you want them to have the best version of yourself. Not just a version, but the best.
Absolutely. I think, and I'm going to go there. And, you know, I've been the type of person that don't hold back when it comes to conversation, right? I'm very strategic also. But even your appearance, like you said, I just want to touch on that. Appearance, a lot of us is single and we can't find nobody. And yeah, I am going to go there. I'm going to be that toxic person on this program. Um, Maybe if you change the way you present yourself, you might be able to meet somebody. I think sometimes we just don't care. Oh, this person just gonna have to accept me who I am. But who you are look like a hot mess. I'm sorry. Who you are look like a hot mess. There's people that don't even take pride in their dress. They don't take pride. The only time you see them dress up is when there's a funeral or an interview, and maybe going to church on Sunday for Easter. It's just those minor tweaks. How about look
Did
good
you
for
say
you?
for an interview and only for church?
I said church for Easter, interviews and funerals. That's the only time some people dress
Terrible.
to look good. But throughout the
Terrible.
whole year, they look like a hot mess and they can't understand why they're not meeting nobody. Take pride in yourself. Take pride in your appearance. It's important. We always say, what's the first thing people see?
Your
Your
teeth.
appearance.
Your teeth.
Your teeth, brush your teeth. Like these are
No,
these are
I'm not talking about brushing your teeth. You know that you can go to the dentist. Let me tell you what I did. Taylor, I sustained a horrible injury when I was a little girl. Okay. My whole entire left side of my face was totally ripped. My skin, everything was ripped off, and my teeth were pushed all the way back. And I was probably maybe about 11, maybe. And so it was a horrible accident. I slipped on the ice in Detroit on Otter Drive in 6 Mile. And my neighbor, Miss Josephine, thank God she was there because she had to pull me back because it was an 18-wheeler coming. I would have been decapitated right there in front of all my classmates. Okay. And so when she pulled me back, it ripped all my skin off, because that ice, when you pull anything on that ice, all the flesh coming off. And my teeth were completely pushed back. And because I was going through puberty, the dental community didn't do anything. They said, we can't do anything because your mouth is getting ready to change. You're getting ready to go through puberty, and nature still has to take its course. After that, I had one tooth that was really chipped. So they put a little bit of porcelain to make it all, acceptable or whatever. But Taylor, I was reminded of that incident over and over and over again. Every time I look in the mirror, I kept seeing that trauma, whether I wanted to see it or not, I saw it every time I looked in the mirror. And so finally, I told myself when I got here and I started building my brands and stuff, I said, as soon as the first time you get a good lick, guess where we're going? Cosmetic surgery. Because I knew that this is something I wanted to do. And everybody would say, "Oh, you got a beautiful smile." I'm like, "You lying. You're accommodating because I have a pretty face thanks to my parents. My parents are very attractive people. But no, this is ugly. You know what I mean? And I know it's not attractive. And you're saying this because you just want to be nice. But I don't need you to be nice to me. I know it's not cute." And I remember going to the dentist, and when she got done with all of my front teeth, I was just sitting, I couldn't even say thank you. I was just weeping because, first of all, I was so scared to do it. And secondly, to actually not be reminded of that over and over again every day of my life, it just gave me such a peace, such a peace. And, when I go to the TV stations or a radio station, I don't have to feel uncomfortable that a camera is all the way in my face because I took care of what I knew I needed to take care of, not just for me, but because I know it needed to be done. I had an injury, I sustained an injury. It needed to be repaired.
Yeah, I think, one thing that I'll say, for me, I wore braces. My grandmother blessed me when I was a little child. Well, my mom and my grandmother. And so I had braces. And so this is the smile that I have today, right? And I've been complimented on that for so much. And now that I'm, on different platforms and on social media,
And I saw
smile,
your interview.
huh?
I saw your interview.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, look at those pearly whites. Okay.
See, and that's just something that I've done. Now, like I said, if you choose not to do that, that's on you. You
Mhm.
got to do what makes you feel, good about yourself and amazing. But there's certain things that you have to do, which is the work. You can't go around it, right? Certain things and places that we want to get to and go to, you
Mhm.
have to put in the work. You want to be an amazing speaker, well, you got to put in the work, right? You want to
Yeah.
have an amazing smile. You want to have an amazing presence on social media because you might want to be a news person, or you might want to, be an influencer and Instagram or what have you. There's something unique about you that you have to do. Some people, take care of their hair. Some people wear, amazing makeup. Some people don't have any makeup on, right? But they might take pride in something else. Maybe it's the way how, they deliver their message, right? They're a storyteller. There's something that they have been trained. There's something that they have worked on to make sure that they are presentable or they deliver their message amazing. For me, it was Toastmasters. For me, it was certification, right? To be able to speak the way I speak and convey the message that I want to convey.
I
Um,
love
to the audience,
Toastmasters.
right?
I love Toastmasters. I was
Toastmasters
I was
is
just telling
amazing.
somebody, Taylor, I said, I have got to find me a Toastmasters chapter in the region, right where I live at. I don't want to have to commute real far to be able to go because you know how it's during business hours. But man, Toastmasters can be life transformative for someone who wants to be a phenomenal orator, for sure.
1000%. Not only that, it sharpens your skills. You can be the best, an amazing speaker, but I'm telling you, there's somebody out there that will challenge you, right? Because that's what we do at Toastmasters, right? We
Well,
go.
Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, all of the major orators that I think Miles Monroe even went to Toastmasters, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But not only that, P Coffee, what about actors? What about
Mhm,
Denzel Washington that we love so much in front of the camera? He went through
mhm.
theater school.
Right.
Like these people just didn't just show up of look. Oh, I'm gonna show up in my authentic self.
But you
That's
know what?
fantastic.
I'm glad you brought that up because most people don't realize, even I'm glad you brought that up. With me being a music person, people are like, why are you playing? Why are you doing the same song 55,000 times? It's something that you're gonna hear if this is what you say that you're supposed to be doing, and you're saying this is your intention, you've got to keep doing it as though your life almost depends on it. When you look at Michael Jackson and Prince and Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin and um, Garth Brooks and all these phenomenal musicians, do you know how many hours in a day they invest in their craft? They're
Yes.
not just getting a microphone and singing. No, they have practiced to perfect that particular song. They're not just getting in there singing. It doesn't work like that. For me, because I mean, it's bad enough we're going to be in the studio all night. But when we're in the studio, I don't want to take the 99 takes of the same freaking note. So I'm making my business, Taylor. I'm gonna let it may take me 2 times tops because I'm not gonna be in here all night and y'all talking about no, 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 cut. Oh, you sharp, you flat. What's going on? No, sir. No. I'm gonna be singing that song all the way to the studio. I'm gonna have the song in my ear while we're sitting in the studio waiting to get in there. I'm gonna have it in when the engineer gets everything set up. I'm gonna have it in all the way until I get in that box with that microphone. I'm gonna
Absolutely.
be listening to it, and it's because first of all, you have to respect your craft. That's the first thing. When
100%.
you respect it, then you honor it. When you honor it, then you have an innate love. You have a love for it. Then you find yourself as it's your magnificent obsession. Then you start growing into you can't think without adding that into a thought that you're having because
No,
you're so passionate about it.
no, absolutely. And I could share a little gem right now. For me, when I started speaking, I was speaking to chairs. I was literally speaking to empty seats every single day. I came up with a new message every single day, and I will speak to the chairs, and I will speak to the chairs just like I'm speaking to you right now. Not only that, when there's a lens, I'm looking directly in the lens. Like right now, I'm looking directly into the camera, into the lens. Now, if I wasn't so conscious of my craft and took very um how should I put this? Took very was diligent, or maybe very conscious of what I'm doing, I would be looking down like everybody do, right? They're looking at themselves while they talk, right? See, I don't do that because I know the audience is right here, right? So this is my camera, and that's why people are so amazed. Like, man, you're always on. I'm always on because this is something that I have practiced. This is something that I have studied. This is something that I've done the work. So when the camera is on and rolling, I know where to look. I know exactly that I'm looking to hundreds of people in that little lens.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of times people have not been taught that. So they get on here and they're not sure exactly what to do, how to get it done because they weren't actually taught that. And of course, I'm engineering right now. So I'm behind the scenes pulling the puppet strings, which means that I'm not going to be looking in the lens the whole while. However, I play it off by certain movements of my head and stuff like that. So you really don't know. You just kind of like flowing with me, like, oh, yeah, that was a great show. And because I'm doing two, I'm multitasking. But I like what you said, when it comes to, you said something really, really cool. that I can truly relate to. Years ago, when I first got heavy into music, I used to go in the sanctuary with my headphones in my head and I would clean my church, right? But while I was cleaning my church, I would be singing the music, constantly, completely going over it over and over and over again. And then I used to stand in the pulpit because I went to a very, very large ministry. And I'd stand there as though I was getting ready to um, give a message or teach a class or something like that. And I used to say to myself all the time, I'm going to be teaching from this podium. Matter of fact, I am teaching from this podium. I am ministering from this space. I am a phenomenal orator. I've learned from the best, and I'm just going to be here to add value to people because I know I can add value. And,
Right.
like you said, with the empty chairs and giving it the same amount of energy as though it's 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Somebody said to me one time, she said, I don't know how you do it when I do my lives for my boutique. It's like, I don't know how you do it. I said, how do I do what? She goes, you give the same energy if it's one of us on there or if it's 75, 200, doesn't matter. You give the same energy. I said, you know why? Because the same way God is no respecter of persons, I shouldn't be.
Absolutely.
And and me changing my energy because it's 50,000 people versus one person, when all the while everybody has the same level of value. Everybody. You all are important, you all are valuable, and you never know who the person is that's going to expose you to the right people, that next level. Matter of fact, I will give you a prime example. I had one author to back out for a family emergency when I did my last project. One of the young ladies inside of my live stream, I felt compelled to reach out to her. I literally called, matter of fact, I have a book here, my book. It has all types of stuff in it for the future, right? And so the young lady, I felt compelled to ask her if she wanted to write with us. She came right along and just phenomenal, like she was intended initially. And my VP of communications, she said, "How do you know this stuff?" I said, "I don't. I just make it my business to have my energy at a level where it's fluid and I can hear and see and I can get that breath, that energy that I need in order when stuff falls up or when stuff doesn't go the way it's supposed. It's like, hey, well, so what are we doing now? Let's go ahead and find a resolve for this particular challenge. This is not working. How are we gonna make this work? And so on and so forth. And I think a lot of times we just have to really, really realize when it comes and we're talking about relationships, whether they're platonic, whether they're professional, whether they're just where you are pretty much the captain, the CEO, the maintenance man, the mailman, where you're building out your brands. You have to choose who you're going to be and how you're going to show up. And it's going to be important when you're in a relationship because I'm telling y'all, when you're in a relationship, if you really want to stay plugged into that person and you want that person to stay plugged into you, you have got to make a conscientious choice to do the work. You can't forfeit the work and say, I don't want to do it today. I don't want to look great today. Well, on that one day that you decide you don't want to look great, that could be that day where your person needed that from you because maybe they weren't having the best of days, or your peers or the people that are around you all the time, they look for that from you because they expect it. It's as though when they get up in the morning, they're saying, "Hey, I know coffee coming in today, and I just want to see what she's gonna have on today. That's all. I just want to see what she's gonna rock today." And you want to be that person that people can depend on. Being dependable is so important in a relationship with that person. Your person can depend on you to show up for them, to be consistent with them, to do the things that you know contribute to their happiness and peace. And like Taylor mentioned earlier, refraining from things that you know will offend them, things that you know will bring harm to them, things that you know will cause toxicity to end up finding its way to your relationship. You got a great relationship, you got to keep working on it. And work is nothing, it's nothing but just doing something to maintain. Doing something to maintain. And I love when you use the car analysis. Perfect example. I'm not a person that buys vehicles frequently. I like to buy a vehicle, keep it for a decade. So I'm notorious for having a vehicle forever. Like on a serious note, I just like to keep the same vehicle. I don't like to switch out. And my catalytic converters went out. And when they shared with me what the investment would be, I was like, "What? I could go buy another vehicle." And I thought about it, I was like, "No, I've been with this one too long. I don't want to date nobody else. I know what to expect from this one. I know how this one moves. I'm going to stay with this one and just do the maintenance." And it was interesting because my son was like, "Sell it, sell it, sell it." I said, "I didn't sell you when you was acting crazy and doing stuff. You still, don't you still, am I still your mom? You still my child?" I said, "I'm not selling it. I'm going to do the maintenance on the baby, treat the baby well. Because if I sell it, it still has to have the maintenance. The maintenance doesn't go away if I sell it. Just because I sell it doesn't mean it doesn't have to be maintained because it still has to get maintained just because I sell it." And I feel like this. My whole thing is I want somebody to get the vehicle from me and enjoy it like I enjoy it. And I do that. I said, let me go ahead and make this investment, get these catalytic converters. And then, next thing you know, I got the catalytic converters. Then they told me something else I had to buy, and so on and so forth. And so that's how a relationship is. Sometimes the investment is going to be big. It's not going to be small. It's going to be a big investment. It's going to be that big push. It's going to be that big give from you, that big ask of you in your relationship. Taylor, somebody was saying the other day, and people talk about this dating pool, and I tell them, what's going on in the dating pool? And I said, what you mean what's going on in the dating pool? You in there. That's what's going on in the dating pool. So if you're in the dating pool and you're got all these what I'm not gonna do in the dating pool, then you're the one. You're the problem. Be the solution. If you want to have a great experience, be the experience that you want to have. Be that experience. Be that energy when you walk into the room. I went to my doctor today, Taylor. I walked in the building and the ladies were like, and I said, "Good morning, beauties. How's everybody doing? Everybody okay? How's your families?" And that I took the initiative to treat them like I wanted to be the experience for them. And I want to have that everywhere I go. So guess what I do? I bring it with me everywhere. Car dealerships, laundromat, it doesn't matter. I bring it with me because I want to have that experience. And if I don't bring it with me, I'm not going to get that experience. And that's how we have to look at our relationships. Bring it with you so that person that you're with can always know that you're going to show up for them. The world's never going to show up for them, but them knowing that you're going to show up, oh man, that's going to give them all that they need to make this thing happen.
No, absolutely. And I was having a conversation with an individual today, and I was comparing on how, we give so much grace to our friends, but our partner, we don't give any grace. We have no patience, and we don't want to work through anything. And that is so crazy to me because if you get in an argument with your friend, maybe it's your best friend, or maybe just a friend. In a couple days, guess what? You're calling your friend. It's like nothing happened. Some of us don't even have the conversation and talk about why you were upset. You just automatically now, hey girl, what you doing? Or hey man, let's hang out. I want to go here, whatever. And everything is back to normal. But our partner, we've hold grudges. We have hold them to this pedestal or this high expectation that we want them to now, oh, you hurt me. Well, your friend hurted you last week and it wasn't an issue and you were able to move on, but your partner hurt you and you're not able to move on. To me, that is a problem. That is a serious problem. And I don't understand why. Why do you give the grace to your friend who you're not living with for the rest of your life? You don't have children with, and you're not building with, you don't have assets with, but you give so much grace and forgiveness to that friend, but your partner, the minute they do something to rub you the wrong way, you're ready to cut them off. To me, that is problematic. That is not normal.
It's learned behavior though. It's either learned behavior or it's punishment. It's some kind of, you think you can punish a person. And I let me tell you something. One of my closest friends said something to me that really kind of took me aback, right? And I said, am I going to confront this or not? And sometimes it's not even worth a confrontation. It's just a internal resolve that you have to choose to have and move forward. And that's what's going to sustain relationships. People ask me when my husband was living, how y'all do it? Because your husband is so militant. My husband was Army and he was in the Gulf War. He was extremely militant. He was mean, very militant. I mean, like the dude was curt, period. And they're like, "How do you deal with him?" I said, when he goes into Mr. Brown mode, Mrs. Brown, I'm gonna digress because Mr. Brown, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I'm not gonna be mean to him. I'm not going to decide that I'm not gonna cook because Mr. Brown got on my nerves. Mr. Brown, this is Mr. Brown's requirements. I still have to meet the requirements, although I'm not enjoying his energy right now. But I got to still meet the requirement because that's what I got hired for. I'm going to say that again. That's why I got hired as the CFO of his company because I met the requirements. And people forget that, relationships are a business. And when it comes to business, if you don't meet the requirements, I got to let you go. It's like any other business. If you're not meeting the requirements, but you want me to compensate you, you're steady not meeting the requirements. I'm asking you to do A, B, C, D, E. You're not meeting the requirements and you want to stay hired? How's that? I mean, how do you expect to stay hired at the company that you say you want to be the whatever position your person hired you for? And you say you want to keep that position, but you're not willing to do the work. How's that fair to have that type of expectation? That don't make sense. It's not fair. And we got to remember this stuff when we're saying, well, what's going on with the dating pool and all that. And, Taylor and I, we're going to talk about this for a few weeks heading into this new year. One of the main things that you got to think about is, do I really want to be with this person for the long haul? Do I actually feel mutual love, freedom, and respect for this individual? Do I see myself as a part of this person's future? And have I bought into their vision? Do I believe in what it is that they say they want to do? And they show me the vision. Do I believe in the vision? Do I want to be a part of that vision? We have to start asking ourselves these questions before we even go to dating certain people. If we say, I don't want to be a part of that kind of vision, I don't want to do that. Like I met this guy, he told me, he said, I don't go to church. What did he say? I don't go to church, but I'm spiritual. I said, well, have you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? He said, oh, absolutely. I love the Lord. I said, okay, that's all I need to know, honey. I said, however, in my house, if if you and I were in a relationship, you're gonna be in somebody's building because that corporate blessing. We want to receive that corporate blessing. You want to be a part of the corporate experience as well, not you just still your closet ministry. I understand you got a closet ministry. I got it. However, there's a corporate aspect of it. And he said, you know what, you're right, because my wife does require that. That's one of her requirements that once a month he worship with her in a corporate setting. Even though he doesn't believe in organized religion and he doesn't like it and all these he still makes certain that he wants to keep his position with the company. So he accommodates her and he doesn't do it grudgingly and with an attitude and making her feel like he don't want to go. He governs himself accordingly, rolls on out, enjoys the experience with her, and then he goes back to being the person that he was. Everybody happy. Everybody happy. And no such thing as happy wife, happy life. No, happy spouses, happy life. We want everybody in the house to be happy, fulfilled, and we want to be value adders. Now, I'm not going to be able to be your joy. You have to have your own joy. I can just contribute to what's already there. I can't be your peace. You got to be your own peace, but I can contribute to what's already there. You know, you can all the things that you are, I am a contributing factor to that from a positive perspective. Put a magnifying glass on the great things that you already have going on. And I'm just coming in, adding more value to that. And that's what relationships are about. How can I come in and add more value? We're looking at how we're wanting to take something. I want to get. No, that's not what relationships are about. It's about what can I give. What can I give? What is it that I have that I know would consequently be of tremendous value to this person? What do I bring to the table that I know this man not only wants, but he needs and he enjoys and he appreciates because it's coming from me. And I want to be that value adder for him.
Can I just add something? Because a
Go
lot,
ahead.
the way how the world is now, when people hear add value, they think of money.
Mm,
They think that's the first thing that comes to everybody's mind. Usually what I'm hearing on social media is that, and of course there's those that are mature enough to understand that value takes shape and form in different areas, right?
right,
You
right,
know, but when you hear somebody say, hey, I want to be a part of your life to help build, the first thing we think of, well, how much money you make, right? Are you able to take care of the family? Well, my thing is this: is finances the only thing that a person is there to take care of a family? I think is, full go around. Like, you're there to take care of family, not only money wise, but spiritually, but being a leader, right?
right.
And different things. So when we talk about, adding value, adding that comfort, adding that protection, adding that, hey, hey, babe, don't worry about this. We're gonna get through this, right? What about those aspects? Because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, Taylor, what is he freezing in the middle of what he's saying? Come on. Oh, shoot. I'm gonna see if his system comes back. Dang it, I hate that happen. He is completely frozen. So hopefully he'll be able to get that taken care of because that was good. He was getting ready to set some stuff, set the record straight on the show, y'all. So man, Taylor, is he there? No. So we'll wait and see if Taylor can hop back in. But we wanted to come in and kind of connect with you guys over the next couple of weeks and just talk a little bit about relationships. As coaches, I am a certified master life coach, and so I do this because I love it. I love connecting people and being connected together and having wonderful relationships. I think it's so important to have great relationships, platonic, um, intimate relationships with our families, relationships with our children, relationships with our siblings, relationships with every person that we come in contact with, where we're just relatable to the people that grace the stage of our lives. And so we're going to be talking about that over the next few weeks, and we're also going to be featuring certain things from certain individuals as far as from the creative space. Like these earrings that I am wearing tonight, they are Scorpio. They say Scorpio. There's a young lady that I found on Instagram. She is a woman of color. She's in her late 20s. And when I saw that she does handmade accessories, I could not pass up on the opportunity. So I'm going to pull up her information and you guys can go check her out. She's very reasonably priced. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks before you get your goodies from her, but it's well worth the wait. As you can see, they're very lightweight, beautiful, beautiful accessories that she has. So I'm going to tell you guys how to follow her on Instagram and tell her Koffe sent you. Tell her Koffe sent you. Send her a DM. She's wonderful at responding. Just a great young lady in her late 20s and has a phenomenal business. So what we're going to be doing is just featuring several people with their businesses on this segment, just so you guys can be aware of what's in the marketplace so you can know about certain vendors and things like that. I also have a boutique, but we're not going to focus on that tonight. But let me spell this for you. It's TELJEA collection. Telja collection. TELJEA collection. And she's right on Instagram. Okay. can't really see it because this camera, the lighting in the studio is pretty high for the cameras, so you can't really see it. But it is TELJAE collection. All right, she has a great line of accessories, absolutely gorgeous pieces. You see the ones that I have on. She does have some that are a little bit more docile and not as big and gaudy like these, but she has more options for you to choose from. So check her out and let her know that Koffe sent you so you guys can grab some of her gorgeous pieces that she handcrafts every last pair of earrings that she has in her store. So she is wonderful. She makes it all herself, okay? And be patient. Once you place your order, it'll be about a month before you receive it, but you'll be so glad that you waited. Um, it is, let me post it. It is TELJAE collection. It's going to pop up on the screen now. TELJAE collection. And this is her collection for accessories. All right, we've had a phenomenal time, Taylor. We're going to go ahead and bring the ship in to the dock, and we'll just come back on next week and finish talking about this incredible topic. What's going on in this dating pool? What's happening in the dating world? Well, we want to make sure that we give you guys, we talk about what the challenges are, but we want to give you some good, solid solutions. Taylor can help you to guide you out of toxicity and into a very harmonious experience with someone. Once you clear out that energy, you can replace it with the right type of energy so that you attract the type of individual that you really want to experience. The toxic stuff, been there, done that, but a lot of it I realized, and I'm sure Taylor can agree to this, a lot of it was stuff that was lodged in me that just so happened that person put a magnifying glass on it. And that's why it was so challenging. And I didn't really realize the level of toxicity that I was dealing with because of some things that had occurred in yesteryears that were not addressed effectively. And it just spilled over into my relationships. And so we have to look at us first. Look at us first. Look at you first. Say me. Say me. Look at you first. We got to deal with us first before we can address anything on the outside. Because the only person that we have control of and the power over is ourselves, not anybody else. Okay. And so we got to make sure that we're working on us. That being said, I'm going to yield over to Taylor. Taylor, we're closing out for tonight, but we're going to come back up in here and chat it up some more, Taylor. Is there anything you want to leave these beautiful people with tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I just think that if you value the relationships that you're in, you value the person, you have already invested your time, your energy in this individual. You guys both have to do the work, right? Not only you, but and when I mean do the work, I mean be patient. I mean, hear each other out, right? If it's something that you want to hold your tongue, I shouldn't say what I really want to say. Maybe it's time to hold back, right? Not only that, have a foundation, right? I think spirituality is amazing. I think having God as the center is very powerful, right? For those that do believe in God, and if you don't believe in God, try Him. You'll see how amazing He is and how He can help that family sustain. But I think communication, I think therapy is amazing. I will always say therapy. I won't say go to your grandmother, your mama, your uncle, your auntie, your kids. You got to seek professional help, but we have to do the work, and you have to do those checks, just like a car where you check in for those oil changes and the gas light and the tire rotation or what have you. You still got to do that when you're in a relationship. Just because you think you're doing your thing and I'm everything like a bag of chips, so I'm better than sliced bread. Let me tell you something. You do the check-in. Sometimes couple would write notes, right, to each other. What are the things that you like about the person, you love about the person, you love the way they make you feel, what have you? And what are some of the things that rub you the wrong way? You'll be surprised on some of the things that you'll find out that the other person is thinking about, or maybe cannot communicate it to you verbally, but exchanging different notes, it'll be a great conversation starter. And that doesn't mean when you receive those answers, that mean for you to attack the person. Take a step back, maybe do some self evaluation. Wow, I didn't know this made you feel this way, right? There's a lot of things that comes out of that different exercise that you do. So I want to just leave, do the work. Do the work. It takes work to have something solid. It takes work to have something amazing, and it takes work to have something successful. Just like your kids, just like your job, just like even your home, your car, everything that you have built, everything that you have obtained, it took work for you to get there. Same way with a relationship. Do not neglect that factor, that it doesn't take work, and I got the person now and I'm good.
Yeah, for real, because nobody got nobody. Well, nobody got nobody. You got you. You got you,
Hey,
boo. That's not
that's a
all.
look, that's another conversation. We got
Oh,
to
don't
talk
worry. We're
about.
gonna get, believe me, we got a lot to talk about. It's plenty to chat about, okay? So thank you guys for tuning in over the next few weeks with the hot seat. Taylor and I will be coming in just talking about various topics that can add value to your relationships where you are, to try to assist with us staying together. I'm kind of at the point where I'm tired of seeing people falling apart, and some of this stuff can be rectified and fixed. And so we are what's called breach repairers. We want to kind of help you to stay the course so long as you're not being abused or treated poorly. Some things can be so much as just you changing what time you get out of bed in the morning. Or maybe it's the food that you're consuming. Maybe you're not getting enough raw fruits and vegetables. And that's where the challenges are coming from. Or, like, yeah, Taylor said it, you're not resting properly. You're not in the bed the amount of time that you need to be. Or you're not exercising. You're not spending time exercising or meditating. Or, like he was talking about, you don't have your spiritual relationship intact and it's showing up in your natural life. So we're going to be just chatting up about a few things. And here soon, we're going to have some public service announcements. We've got some great things coming up for 2023. And we want to just be a blessing to you guys. We really do. So tune in, tap in. On Thursday night, you'll be able to check us out for Bible study right here on the same platform. And then on Saturday morning, you'll see us for Bible study again. And then we'll be right back in the saddle on next Tuesday for another edition of the Hot Seat. I am your hostess with the Moses, Coach P. Coffee Brown. I'm here in the great state of Texas by way of Houston. I'm here with my Canadian compadre, Taylor Made Speaks. He's a phenomenal being, and we're always excited when he's able to come in and hang out with us. So, Taylor, we honor and respect you. And thank you so much for being present with us on tonight. Hey guys, we'll see you guys next week on another edition of the Hot Seat. I'm going to roll these last few comments on the platform for tonight, and then we're going to be out for tonight. We bid you double shalom to you and your family. 2023 is on the horizon, and it's going to be here in just a couple of seconds, like literally. So go ahead and clear out everything you need to clear out and connect to every person that you need to connect to so they'll know that you love, admire, and appreciate them. All right. People need to know that they're loved, admired, and appreciated. So good night, everybody. Grace, peace, and blessings. We'll see y'all again soon. Shalom.